Okay, so what if the wisest person who ever lived, a man with, limitless wealth and power, came to the conclusion that life is meaningless? That's the incredible journey we're on today. We're diving into King Solomon's search for purpose and the absolutely shocking conclusion he reached after running the ultimate experiment on life itself.
And that's how he starts his philosophical journal, the Book of Ecclesiastes. Seriously, no warm up, no gentle intro, just this bombshell conclusion right at the beginning. It's designed to grab your attention, right? A bold proclamation that everything we chase after, everything we build, is, in the end, just empty.
And that is the central mystery we're unpacking. How could a guy who denied himself literally no pleasure, who had more wisdom and more riches than anyone, end up at such a bleak, despairing conclusion? Well, to find the answer, we have to join him on his investigation. Solomon, who calls himself the preacher, starts with his conclusion for a very, very specific reason. See, before he can build up the true answer to life's meaning, he first has to completely tear down our own flawed assumptions. He's showing us the dead-end road of a life lived on purely human terms before he points us to the right path. Now, this word vanity is super important to get right. In the original Hebrew, it's havel, which doesn't mean pride or arrogance. It means a vapor, a mist. The best way to think about it is like cotton candy. It looks huge and substantial, but when you grab it, it's mostly air. It disappears. That's havel, the fleeting, empty, and ungraspable nature of so much of life. So, to conduct his experiment fairly, Solomon sets up a boundary. He calls it living under the sun. Just think of it like a laboratory, a closed system, where he examines life from a purely human, horizontal perspective. For the sake of the experiment, God and eternity are temporarily left out of the picture.
All right, so with the rules of the game set, Solomon begins his exhaustive search. He systematically tests every single possible source of meaning this world has to offer, from deep intellectual pursuits to the most extravagant pleasure. But as we're about to see, from his under-the-sun viewpoint, it all just felt like chasing the wind.
His first stop makes perfect sense, right? As the wisest man alive, he dives headfirst into knowledge. You could almost call it an ancient version of our own information age. He wanted to understand everything, every pattern, every event, every human motivation. He had to know if ultimate understanding could bring ultimate fulfillment. But this path, it just led to more despair. The more he learned, the more he saw the endless, pointless cycles of life, the frustrating flaws in humanity, and the complete inability of human wisdom to actually fix any of it. It turns out, knowledge without a higher purpose just made the pain of a broken world feel even worse.
So if wisdom's a dead end, what about pleasure? Solomon completely pivoted. He decided to test materialism and hedonism on a scale that's, frankly, never been seen before or since. The thinking was, if meaning couldn't be found in the mind, well, maybe it could be found in possessions and experiences, the ultimate consumer lifestyle.
And the scale of this experiment was just staggering. We're talking about palaces, massive gardens, treasures from all over the world, entertainment of every single kind. He held nothing back, testing the absolute limits of what a human could get and enjoy, always chasing that next big thing, that next source of delight.
And the result was exactly the same. All of it, the wealth, the parties, the amazing accomplishments, was just as empty as the pursuit of wisdom. It was totally unfulfilling. In his famous words, it was like chasing after the wind, just a frustrating, pointless exercise where you can never ever grasp what you're reaching for. This is where Solomon has this huge realization. The problem wasn't the activities themselves. I mean, work, wisdom, and joy aren't bad things. The problem was his starting point. The flaw was in that under-the-sun perspective, the whole attempt to find ultimate meaning in a closed system without even acknowledging the creator. So here's the crucial point. Look at the contrast. Without God, life is just this frustrating cycle where even hard work is just anxious striving. But with God in the picture, everything changes. Simple things, like eating a meal with your family, become gifts to be enjoyed. Mundane tasks get a new significance because they're part of a much bigger story. Work isn't just a grind anymore. It's an opportunity to find real satisfaction and purpose in what God has given you to do. Solomon's conclusion actually points to a much, much larger theological answer. His whole philosophical problem of life's vanity finds its ultimate solution way beyond the pages of Ecclesiastes, and it provides a framework for hope that Solomon himself was really only just beginning to grasp. You see, the ultimate escape from the meaningless cycle under the sun is found in a life under the sun, Jesus Christ. Where Solomon's quest showed our total failure to find meaning on our own, this perspective offers grace that covers our shortcomings. The despair of a life that just ends in judgment is replaced by the incredible hope of resurrection and eternal security. So after his exhaustive search, after testing every possible path and hitting every single dead end, Solomon finally arrives at his grand conclusion. He boils down all of his wisdom, all his experience, into one simple, powerful statement. Here it is. The answer isn't some complex philosophical formula. It's two things. First, fear God. And that doesn't mean be terrified of him. It means have a deep, loving reverence and awe for who he is. And second, keep his commandments, which is simply the natural, practical way that reverence plays out in your life. And this right here is the key. Solomon says this isn't just a good idea or one option among many. He calls it the whole duty of man. This is it. This is the central purpose of our existence, the one thing that gives meaning and coherence to all the other parts of our lives. And the beauty of this conclusion is that it works on two levels. It solves the problem of meaninglessness right now, here on Earth, by anchoring our daily lives in an eternal purpose. And it addresses the future, giving us this deep security and hope by aligning our lives with the one who holds all of eternity in his hands. So Solomon's incredible journey leaves us with a question to chew on. Is life truly meaningless, or have we just been looking for purpose in all the wrong places?